Okay, guys. So this is a video. I still don't know how to say her name. I think it's Khadijah Mbawi, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But if you guys recognize her, she's from, she had made like a critique. I think she made a video and Abba Preach critiqued it, and they had a little back and forth. And I think Abba and Preach both, well, Abba Preach and her both took down one of their videos each. There was like a follow-up video to their original video to her. Either way, even though I disagree with some of what she said, I thought she was cool. I liked her. She's pretty smart, and she released a video about Drake. A little bit of a hit piece on Drake. It's called "From Nice Guy to Misogynist in Under a Decade." Hey, that's just the pipeline. That's the alt-right pipeline. And when I say alt-right, I mean they're always right because it was men, and men are always right, baby. Boom. How do you like that? Anyway, I'm interested. It's fun to make fun of Drake. People do it all the time. And what is it? Anthony Fantino. I've been watching some of those compilations, and those are funny. So, this is the right timeline now that we're here. So let's get this started.
The paradox for boys is that in order to remain worthy of connection, they must prove themselves invulnerable, button-down warriors in the world's emotional marketplace.
See, you throwing too many words at me. So
Oh my God, is that Drake on the off camera? Ooh, that's cool.
I'm the way.
watch your mouth.
So on November 4th, 2022, Drake and 21 Savage released an album titled Her Loss. So in the song Circo Loco, Drake raps.
Just for context, I have seen a lot of Drake's content on Degrassi, and that's pretty much it. Not so much his music, I don't really listen to Drake. I prefer music that hits a little harder, like stuff that's a little harder, like Child's nursery rhymes, of course, because Drake music is soft as hell. But so just letting you guys know about that context.
This bitch lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling.
What does that mean? This bitch lie about getting shot. Oh, I think what that means is that she lies about her body count, and then they're making fun of her. Okay.
Island. Obviously, people started going, Is he talking about Megan?
Maybe, I guess.
Is Drake saying Megan lied not only about ass shots, but about getting shot? Because we got the joke. It just wasn't funny, okay?
I got it wrong. My bad.
Some of y'all really need to realize that humor is a way that y'all measure people's intelligence level. And some of y'all think that people are not smart as you. That's why they don't get the joke. We get the joke. It's not funny.
That's true.
You see, this is why this is the third time I'm recording this intro, because I'm getting hot. Now, this wasn't the only lyric that had a lot of us going, what? He says in another song, sidebar, Serena, your husband.
Oh, so Meg Thee Stallion got shot and he's calling her a liar. Okay, these are fun to interpret. Sidebar, Serena, your husband is a groupie. He claimed we don't got a problem, but I know, boo. It's like you coming for sushi. We might pop up on him at will like Suzuki. What does that mean, bro? Holy fuck. I feel like I'm in English class again. What do you think that means? I don't know. It's probably not that deep. Miss Reynolds, I don't know what the teacher's name is. She's like, no, it is. It's a lot deeper than you think. It's like, it's probably not. You're overthinking.
It's a groupie. He claimed we don't got a problem, but no, boo. It's like you coming for sushi. We might pop on him at will. Like
sushi's good.
Listen, I'm reading this very like blasé
Sushi's
because again, cute Drake. You were making a joke or trying to get press basically over a traumatic experience that somebody went through, but you claim to be the nice for what guy.
Get your motherfucking roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no so.
And when these girls aren't nice to y'all, all of a sudden it's a problem. But you were telling us to be nice for what?
Yeah, for what?
Also,
Turn down for what?
Is this you front and center at Amber Rose's slut walks? Interesting.
What's wrong with that? I'm a hoe too. It sounds like he's fighting for equality. What's wrong with that? Looks like he's fighting for equality there. He's trying to just say male hoes or hoes too. It's true, brother. You got a high body count. You're a hoe. All right. For sure. For show.
Thanks to T for reminding me of this moment, by the way.
Of course, 21 Savage was on the front lines in a literal Captain Save-A-Ho costume.
Correction. So actually, Amber was dressed up as Captain Save-A-Ho and 21 Savage was just a hoe.
Like my gay cousin. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
This takes nothing away from my point.
Now, clearly, this has me in my feelings for a lot of different reasons that I want to unpack in this video, and also reasons that I think and had to come to terms with really have nothing to do with misogyny. I don't want to necessarily say that, but like really have nothing to do with the women he's rapping about in general, and everything to do with just Drake trying to be that bitch, and everyone else is just collateral damage.
What is it? Is Drake just trying to take shots on music so that he can like do like a call out so that he can start beef so he can become relevant or something? I mean, he's not that he's irrelevant, but you know what I'm saying? Is that what all it is? He's just trying to make noise so that he can get some notoriety. Maybe he can get some street credibility.
Damage in that. So we're gonna talk his history of alleged niceness.
Well, no, I wasn't there, but what does it mean?
We're gonna talk what the nice guy is as a film trope briefly, and how it translates into real life, how Drake applies to that nice guy trope. We're gonna talk about how when we only think of men as sexual aggressors, and that's the most insidious type of misogyny or whatever, it leaves a lot of other men with a room to be able to act in nefarious ways under the guise of being nice, because they're not as bad as sexual aggressors.
Yeah, okay. I guess I get what you're saying.
And then we're going to talk about how this has nothing to do with any of us. Ladies, it has nothing to do with any of us. Babies, it has nothing to do with any of us. We're going to go back to Terrence Reel's One Up, One Down. I'm going to talk about men impressing men. And then I'm also going to talk about this gap that could possibly be bridged, because y'all know I love talking about relationships and bringing, I'll say men and women together, because I think when that happens, it can bring room
to make a baby. BB-giny.
For the rest of us to come together, or just get rid of the gender binary. I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
We'll
see what happens when we get.
Well, the gender binaries are gone. We already kind of know that, right? For the most part. I mean, I guess if you're not woke, but I mean, right? You just, whatever, dude. That's fine with me.
There. Anyway, bonjour, come hi, and welcome back to season 2, episode 3. Episode 3. Of You Can Always Change Your Mind, a show where
I just wonder why people do seasons on like their YouTube content. Like that doesn't make too much sense to me. Like the podcast has seasons when the podcast should really just like have me in it permanently. It would make the most sense to me if we're being honest here,
If I do my job right, you will feel compelled to do what the title says or not, because I'm really not the boss of you, and like I just want people to be nicer to each other, but I can't make you do anything. This is a device. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do over this device? Really? With that being said, if everything I said in this intro sounds good to you, stick around. We're gonna give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, and then we're gonna get into it. Thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video.
All right.
For those of you that don't know, Surfshark is a VPN. That's a virtual private network that you can install in Google Chrome, pop into your browser, activate it when you want to, or turn it off when you want to. It helps in.
All right, cool stuff.
Someone
Go
I've
buy
been in
it.
love with since I was 22 years old.
All right. Oh, I know who he's talking about. Millie Bobby Brown. He's talking about Millie Bobby Brown. How old is Millie Bobby Brown compared to Drake? Because he weirdly likes her a lot, and I just personally don't understand it, dude. I don't understand that. It's very bizarre to me. But let's see. Millie Bobby Brown age. She's 18 right now, and Drake age 36. So what is that? 18 years? I would believe it. I believe he liked her since she was 4.
Okay, so there have been a few examples that people always like to cite of how Drake developed this reputation as a, quote, nice guy in hip hop. That time he did that Atlantic interview.
I think it's because he has gone through no struggle in his life. That's how I would see it. He's like started from the bottom. I think he's just talking about standing up out of his fucking wheelchair from Degrassi. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how he even was able to make rap. At least the type of rap he did, where he was like, yeah, I used to go, he was heavily implying he was born inside of the ghetto, the Warsaw ghetto. And yet this guy came from like an upper middle class fucking family. It was very bizarre. What? Erica, are you okay? Why do you hate Khadijah so much, Papa? If you don't like her, why watch her videos? Bro, every day, I swear to God, Jesus Christ Almighty comes down from the fucking glorious heavens to test me with some of the most unintelligent fucking people that I've ever seen in my life. I started this video off by saying, hey, I first saw this girl's content in a beef with Abba and Preach, and even though I disagreed, I like her content, so I'm going to watch this video because it's pretty cool. Because this is the right timeline that I want to be in watching this content. And then some fucking heckler's got to come in here and stun lock me saying, if you don't like her, why are you watching her content? Because I do like her, bro. What are you talking about? What even made you feel like I don't like her? Because I suggested that fucking Drake wants to have sex with Millie Bobby Brown that's half of his age? How does that perform poorly on her? I'm so fucking confused, dude. Come on, bro. What is going on here, dude? What? How did I get here? What happened? What happened in your life? Okay? How did you even extrapolate that I didn't like this content creator? I don't get it. I do. It's interesting. What the fuck? God damn it, I'm dying now because of you, dude. I'm dying now because of you. Okay? And I gotta pull out all the stops to stop dying. Okay? I gotta use my goblin powers. I gotta, like, actually try to fucking win this because the DPS is so bad. That's actually not that bad. All right. Anyway. Oh, heavens. As Drake would say. Let's get back into this. We're on fucking goblin mode. How was I trying to drag her? What did I say? Shut up. I don't like you. You stink. Get out of here.
And was talking about how he was collecting Birkins for the girl he planned to settle down with one day. There was a time he yelled at some dude in the audience for groping a girl in the audience. But when you see that video of him on stage with that 17-year-old, it makes that very ironic. He's always been rapping about his feelings. He's always been rapping about the girls that he likes, the bad bitches he likes that he wants to settle down with but can't. Girls that he cheats on, the girls that cheat on him. How he's just in his feelings. He is in his feelings. And he's light-skinned and biracial and not afraid to say it because he's also Canadian. I don't know. People were roasting Drake for a long time for being biracial, light-skinned Canadian and rapping about his feelings. So that's also part of the reason why he kind of developed this nice guy.
What does the biracial thing mean? Like, I'm a white guy, so I'm just trying to say bi to racisms, because, you know, I fight the power. But, like, is that like an insult, calling somebody biracial? Like suggesting that they're not black enough? Or is that like a light skin meme? I've heard some of those before. You know, like light skins enter the room. Like, I just don't get it. Because I am a light skin, but I'm not a light skin person. I'm just white. There's a difference, apparently. I'm confused. Okay, so
quote thing. To me, it is interesting because that speaks to how feminized nice guys are, because it's not that Drake was necessarily super nice when he was rapping in Marvin's room and stuff like that. Like, he hasn't really changed if we think about it, which is also probably why it's frustrating. But we've changed our perspective. And for someone like him, it's interesting to just observe that his niceness was seen as nice only because it wasn't as aggressive and as quote unquote manly as other rappers were, because he wasn't seen as quote manly and because he was willing to talk about his feelings, however toxic they were towards the people he was dating, which is not a judgment because we can all be toxic. But he was nice simply because he wasn't as aggressive.
Wow.
Maybe.
Hello there.
I don't know, like, listen, for me personally, like, I've never seen Drake as, like, aggressive at all. Like, it's not even, like, I guess he seemed nice because he was just nice. He didn't seem, like, yeah, I don't think that he was just nice comparatively. That could, I mean, maybe that's from my perspective, from what I've seen. He didn't even get that mad when he was put in that wheelchair. That's all the jokes from this. Every joke is going to be from Degrassi. Every single joke. So just get ready for it, okay? He seemed pretty nice from it, though.
Who are you? You like a little attention. Okay, I bite.
But quickly explaining the nice guy, I'll say trope because it is a kind of trope in film and television as well. With this nice type of character,
I'm a cool guy.
They are a hopeless romantic.
I will say, though, that she's got a really good point here. Like, I feel like the nicest people I've ever met have not been nice people. I know it sounds weird, but, like, the nicest people, I don't know. The nice guy makes sure, the stereotypical nice guy, make sure that you know he's the nice guy. You know what I mean? I prefer, like, the hard, rigid asshole that's, like, actually a pretty good dude. He's just very blunt and expressed, but he tries to be respectful. You know, that's more on par for, like, nice guys for me. But, you know, those nice guys are like, oh, yeah. That's give me a hug guys. Those are the nice guys. Oh, give me a hug. You know, they use their niceness just to get in proximity of you so that they can uncomfortably hug you and put their hand in a weird spot that could be perceived as sexual, but, like, you can't prove it. You know, like right under the bra strap. It's like, this feels like you're trying to do something, but I can't prove it. So what am I gonna say? That's what a nice guy. That's a nice guy. You know what I'm saying?
Super into this particular girl they have a crush on. They're the sole focus of this guy's attention. He's not afraid to admit his feelings, and he can kind of come across as cringy.
True.
Sound like anyone we know.
Yep.
Like I said before with Drake
from Degrassi,
he came across as this quote unquote nice guy for the lack of being a sexual aggressor or seeming to be, but also because
I just like disagree with that, because I feel like that stereotypical nice guy, like I was saying, is like they're, and I'm not saying this is Drake, but like they try, like they're not sexual aggressors. They're like they're sexual passive aggressors. Like they just make like passive aggressive moves onto women. That like they get to say, I wasn't doing anything. I can't believe you'd think about like I can't believe you think that of me, Monica. You thought I would do that to you? I love you. I love women. I hate the DPS that don't know how to simply go and grab a fucking ball and dunk it. Hey, who the fuck am I? Am I right?
Of his physical features being light-skinned and biracial, and in certain parts of the world, certain communities, in this part of the world, it's something I've spoken about before, where if you look at television, oftentimes when you see black couples, especially if they're straight black couples, the guy will always be dark-skinned, and his wife or his girlfriend or partner will always be light-skinned.
Oh, that's interesting. I never noticed that. What does that mean? What?
Or biracial.
Wow.
It has a lot to do with how we tend to treat darker skin as more masculine, and black women and masculinizing. Is that even a word? In this case. And we have a bunch of memes and stuff that came out. We have the way people just spoke about Drake for a while. Like,
wait, that's actually kind of cool. I didn't think of it like that. So they make the male roles more, they contrast the men with lighter skinned women to make them look like appear more masculine. Oh shit, that's kind of cool. I never thought about that. I never noticed that. That's fucking interesting. I never noticed that. Because I've always noticed I've noticed the fat guy always with the hot girl, like Family Guy and King of Queens and every other thing. But I've never noticed that. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool.
Drake has always been known as a dude that's in his feelings. Even if his feelings were just as toxic and trash as a lot of the other dudes that were rapping about women, he was light-skinned and seemed a bit more sensitive. So
I'll say one thing. I don't know if people know. I'm actually a gangster rapper. I'm rapping my own gifts for Christmas. It's so funny. It's funny. I'm not that good at rapping, actually. I'm more of a novice rapper, but you know.
Oh, people were more willing to say, "Oh, look at this nice guy. He just hasn't found the right girl. Look at him collecting Birkins for the girl that he's gonna want."
What is a Birkin?
And then we all found out about Adonis, and it was like, "Ooh, he had us. He had a lot of us." Okay, songs like "Find Your Love," most of the "Take Care" album. For so much of the 2010s, Drake came across as hip-hop's hopeless romantic. He was rap's nice guy. And if you wanted somebody to come in and bring the ladies into your song, you let Drake do a little feature, you know?
Okay.
Not to say the ladies weren't already listening to. We all be listening to misogynist hip-hop. We all do it. Come on now.
I don't know. What is misogynist hip-hop? I thought we just called it hip-hop. That's a fun dig. That's why I prefer country music, because that's not misogynist at all. They don't ever talk about like anything about, you know, prioritizing trucks or hitting women or anything like that. I mean, I don't even know if that's true. All I do is listen to "I Need You Now" by Lady Antebellum, because frankly, it's an absolute banger. It's a club bop, honestly. And I need you now. Like, I like to put a little twang on my voice while I sing it. In another world, baby.
Medium is the message. The medium of hip hop is misogyny.
So yeah, they made a culture out of demeaning us, and again, by demeaning, I don't just mean name calling. I mean the violent fantasies that they have about women that they openly rap about.
Like what?
Like the way men fantasize about physically, sexually, and emotionally abusing women is nuts.
That happened?
I have some examples for you.
Yeah, give me
Rick
some.
Ross, quote, "Put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it." DMX.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Wow, that's wow. I only know Rick Ross from all of his farming tip videos about how he owns a ranch for tax purposes. I had no idea he made jokes about basically Bill Cosbying LOL. Very interesting. Holy shit.
Quote, "Trying to send the bitch back to her maker. And if you got a daughter older than 15, I'ma rip her.
What the fuck?
Take her on the living room floor, right there in front of you. Then ask you seriously, what you want to do?" Eminem. Quote, "Snatch the bitch out her car through the window. She's screaming. I body slam her into the cement until the concrete gave and created a sinkhole. Buried this stink hoe in it, then paid to have the street repaved."
The only reason I'm not surprised about Eminem is because like he's super constantly violent in all of his songs. But I didn't know that about like Rick Ross and shit. Like, holy fuck. That's crazy, dude.
End quote. Last one, Cool G. Quote, "Now I got to give your motherfucking ass a beating. I punched her in the ribcage and kicked her in the stomach.
Oh my God.
Take off all my motherfucking jewelry. Bitch running. I stomped her and I kicked her and I punched her in the face. Some people crowded around, but nobody got out of place. don't want heroics. Hey, miss, you all right? Motherfucker, mind your business. And I can't do this no more.
Bro, that I mean, it sounds like she just described the fucking scene from American History X. What the fuck? That's in a rap song? Oh my god. Oh my lord, that's intense. Holy shit. Okay.
Drake is right. Women don't have to be nice to men. But the gag is, he really thinks women have to be nice to him. Because he's not like the other guys. He's a nice guy. And we should all be grateful that he loves us, as evidenced by the fact that he is always mocked by other men because he makes music for women. And the fact that he doesn't always call us bitches and hoes.
I don't know if I can live with the threat of this hanging over me.
Boats and hoes.
I didn't even do anything.
Boats and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and
Poor
hoes.
Ryan, just an innocent bystander. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Julia Sorrento...
Me personally, I'm a straight stander, but you know, how do you stand in a bisexual manner? That's the real question. I don't know. I never understood that. Oh, fuck. Get that, you stupid fuck.
Knows Sexed Up, How Society Sexualizes Us and How We Can Fight Back. I finished this book recently and it's I've been talking about this a lot, but in this book she confirmed something that I've been noticing, which is that in feminist discourse there's this popular narrative, and it's not like a myth out of nowhere, but there is a popular depiction of men being labeled as sexual aggressors. Unfortunately, this same
in what
depiction popular narrative, and it is that in feminist discourse,
okay,
there's this popular narrative, and it's not like a myth out of nowhere, but there is a popular depiction of men being labeled as sexual aggressors.
Sure.
Unfortunately, this same observation...
It's really true. It's so interesting. I don't even know how to articulate this very well, so it might be lost on a lot of people because I just can't articulate it very well. But I noticed that sometimes when I'm watching like a TV or a movie, that they will assert that a guy is a bad guy by just making him like a rapist, which obviously makes him a which obviously makes him a bad guy. But it's so hard. I don't know, if you haven't like seen it, you wouldn't understand it because I don't know how to articulate this well. But it just seems like there's no character building for the bad guy. It's like, oh, he raped a girl. Okay. Like, there's nothing intelligent about it. It's almost like a very easy virtue signaling. Obviously, sexual assault is wrong, but they don't put any effort into the script on making him a bad guy. They're like, oh, rapist. And it's like, yeah, that is bad. But that's all they'll do. And it comes off as like really weird and like almost sexist. I don't know how to, it sounds bizarre what I'm saying right now. You know?
Observation has been increasingly weaponized in the manosphere, with self-professed nice guys claiming that they deserve sex.
It's true, bro. Let me tell you something. Every male that identifies as a feminist is a predator. That's not true, but it's true. You know what I mean? In my experience, from the countless people that I've dealt with on like TikTok and stuff, every single guy that's like, I'm a male feminist, I love, I dunks on men constantly and et cetera, is it seems like they're trying to use them in some like disingenuous way. There's a guy named Joe Brope. He was gay, but he would like dunk on, men and all that. It turned out that, he was fucking around with very young people. There's this guy named Turtleneck Emo. Kind of like he would be like fucking pretend to be on women's side just to kind of like fuck around with girls. He was a fuck boy. Nothing like illegal, but he was a fuck boy. Same thing with Modern Warrior, fuck boy. But like, oh, I fight for women, but he's a fuck boy. Now, I'm not going to say I've never been a fuck boy before, but I've never pretended to care about women in order to get pussy. You know what I'm saying? Because women don't even respect themselves enough for me to have to pretend to care about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why even pretend to care about women? They don't respect themselves enough. We have a society that teaches them not to respect themselves. Why do I need to pretend to care just to get pussy? You don't even care about yourself. Duh. What a dumb strategy. Boost the self-confidence of women. Ridiculous. Preposterous. Anyway, all jokes aside. Yeah. That's just been my experience.
To the fact that they treat women better than sexually aggressive men do, but are unfairly denied due to women's supposedly misguided or selfish natures. In addition to a sense of entitlement and resentment toward women.
Listen, guys. Okay, the people keep saying that this is the Destiny waiting room. That's fine. But like in any other waiting room, it's quiet time, okay? All right, read your book, read your magazine, watch the TV, which is the Papa Gut waiting room, and shut the fuck up, all right? And leave when your appointment is called, okay? How's that sound, bro? Leave when your goddamn appointment's called.
Women. Such men display a troubling transactional mentality regarding sex. The belief that a woman ought to give him sex in exchange for his having treated her nicely clearly implies that women need not be treated with respect, equity, or compassion in instances when the man is not seeking sex. or if the woman in question is not willing to, quote, put out. When I read that quote, I wrote in my book Drake underneath it because it was giving so much of that and not.
Why are you writing in your own book? You're just destroying its value, bro. I swear to. Okay, we got it. We're good.
Necessarily that Drake thinks he's entitled to sex and isn't getting it, because I'm sure he's getting plenty. It's Drake. The entitlement to me goes beyond just sex, but goes into entitlement to a woman's energy, time, attention, all of it. Without.
Didn't Drake put hot sauce in a condom one time, and then a woman tried to dump it in her cooter, and then she got then her pussy became fire, but not in the good way. Not in the good way. You know what I'm saying?
Giving the same amount back. Now I want to ask y'all something. Why do you think, and actually comment below, why do you think men like Drake, besides having nice guy complexes, feel entitled to women's time, energy, bodies, etc.? Like, I seriously want to know. Because my speculation is that, unfortunately, it really has nothing to do with us and more to do with them trying to impress other men.
21.
I'm trying to think about that. I don't know. I've never heard of a concept like that before. Impress other men by getting girls. So is what she's saying that men basically are just trying a different sexual dating strategy so they can brag to guys about it? Maybe. I guess I have to listen more.
Can you do something for me? Can you hit a little rich flex for me?
On one song, Drake shouts abortion rights. On another, he says he'd vote for a female president, the porn star Tiana Trump. Throughout,
bro, I fucking hate this Tiana Trump shit. Can I tell you? Like years ago, I was streaming on Twitch, and somebody popped in, and they were like, "Oh, Papa God, did you hear what's going on with Tiana Trump?" And I'm like, "Oh," and they were insinuating that Tiana Trump was some kind of a person that was Donald Trump's daughter or some fucking preposterous ass bullshit. And I was like, okay. So I looked it up on the stream, and I see this girl fucking deep throating a hard penis. And I was like, holy fuck. I had to end the stream and take it down because I didn't want to get fucking banned. You know, you guys are doo-doo heads. It's crazy.
His typical manner.
That's why I'm like always, I have like PTSD from it now to the point where like almost everything that I look at, like when I look something up, even if it's like a fucking research article paper, I will confirm that it doesn't, that there's no porn attached to it. Or anything, just to be safe.
On the power women hold over him sexually, and the power he can hold over them financially. Women have diamonds beneath their thighs that entice men, and that's the one weakness men have. It is the one thing that women have over men that they can rule.
My biggest weakness is pizza.
Be powerful is that they have the thing between their legs. Men like Drake perhaps know that. So what's the one way they can one up? Through this creation of a whole other system that can overpower that one powerful diamond. Capitalism, money. And how do you get that? Through domination. God, I'm really doing a lot, aren't I? I have a speculation as to one of the many reasons people get so freaked out about sex work and want to distance themselves from it. And I'm talking about choice sex work, not survival sex work. And the sex trade is complicated, so there's this truth that is there. And earlier this year when I was interviewing different types of sex workers for a video that I'm still working on, yes, the sex and capitalism video, I'm still working on it. But when I was interviewing folks for that, it was the most honest conversations I had ever about sex.
Super chatted $1.99. Wow, Papa, you got me crying.
Thank you.
About relationships and about how money affects that intimacy or lack thereof in this day and age. And there's something we really don't want to hear or acknowledge about the truth of the matter, which is that a lot of us have bought into this idea that the diamonds beneath the thighs is the one way we hold power and lure power over men. And because of that, we have to figure out ways to utilize it or use it to our advantage if we can, or even if we're just trying to live, it's assumed that we're trying to utilize and manipulate with this. Even if we're just...
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this started where we talked about why people have an issue with sex work. And it's because I don't really understand her argument. I think that people's general issue with sex work is that the outcomes of the individual tends to be not good, I guess. I mean, it teaches disrespecting women because all you have to do is give them money and you get to have sex with them. You could say like, oh, well, that's how society is. Not necessarily. Like, women have the ability to set better boundaries than this isn't even the right difficulty. Better boundaries than just like money for a thing. There's usually like respect, even if it's just pretended respect. So I don't know if it's just that. I think it just gives people license to disrespect women, treat them like a complete object because it's just a financial transaction. It's like buying a blender. And it leads to usually bad outcomes and shit, but okay.
Just existing, you know? And the only way that a man can have that power over a woman is if he has financial, and not only, I shouldn't say only, because there are other ways, financially, physically, all these sorts of things. But sure. The core of it is the domination part. And I really want to say to y'all, don't be scared by the word domination. I'm not, like, I know that word seems really like, but another word for domination, a synonym for it, is control. I think with men like Drake, the way they talk about women has less to do with women and more to do with controlling the people and things in their lives, and therefore being able to dominate the people and things in their lives.
So to be real with you, I don't think it's that deep. I think that Drake just wants to get pussy and he likes to be liked probably, and he may be disingenuous in some capacity to get that thing. I don't know if it's as deep as she's just trying to make it seem like. I don't think it's like this super. I don't think that Drake is predatory in his like fucking, you know, basically like I would say kind of crybaby bullshit, I guess you'd say. I just think he's a little bit of a goofball, you know. Drake's just the kind of guy that'll like, you know, he'll hit on a girl, and when she says that she's not interested, he'll say, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry," you know. Oh golly, I don't know. Anyway,
a lot of times when I've witnessed dudes hating women, participating in misogyny, let's say, whether they think it's complimenting and positive or actually calling women bitches and hoes or whatever, it's typically happened when they're around other men. I've always been nervous when I walk towards a group of black dudes when I was younger. Because
you and me both, girl. I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm so fucking sorry, dude. Oh, that's a joke. That's a joke. Don't cancel me for that. I frequent the Waffle House, or I like black people. That's another joke. I heard a black lady say once that she doesn't like I think it was Denny's or something. It's like that. Well, Waffle House is for black people. I thought it was a funny joke, so I'm appropriating that joke. Anyway, let's just get back here. Let's get back
because they were the ones that would make fun of me the most about my complexion and how ugly I was. And they would like, it's like one person would do it and the other would join in. And it was just like, who can be the cruelest to this person? When I think back on it, yes, I know it has nothing to do with me. I know oftentimes when we're having these conversations and we center misogyny in it, we forget that it's a symptom of something larger. And the larger thing is that hetero masculine patriarchy. Yes, it is a thing that men created and use to police other men.
All right, listen. I gotta push back on this idea that, like, listen, I'm not saying I'd say that the men mostly created misogyny or whatever. I guess, you know what I mean. I guess so. Or we'll say the patriarchy, right? Not that women didn't contribute to the creation of it. There are ways that women benefit. The biggest way that women don't benefit is through like an imbalance of power dynamic that can lead to abuse. I understand that, but like when we say this, when we keep doing this, I just want you to understand what the outcome of continuously asserting that men create the patriarchy. It's because the subtext there is that it's men's fault, and that, which you could say, okay, that's true, but then you're saying that every man who exists, it is the fault of theirs that patriarchy exists, and it's just simply not true. We're all born in a system. Different people benefit. Different people benefit from different things in this system, and we could absolutely, it needs to change. But I don't like that assertion because it tends to come off as antagonistic towards men. And you'd be like, I don't care. Well, then, like, men aren't going to give a fuck about what you're saying. Like, I mean, I think that you'd care about that, right? I mean, when you're just, it sounds like it's more focused on like breaking down and embarrassing men than it is on trying to like build up women. That's the issue I have with that, bro. These like older dungeons for Mythic Plus are so undertuned. Let me tell you, in weird ways.
Police other men more than anyone else, y'all. Well, maybe not more than single mothers, perhaps, trying to raise young men. Ooh, Bell Hooks talks about it. Don't come after me. She's the one who said it. I really want for us non-dudes to just patriarchy. Yes, it is a thing that men created and use to police other men. Men police other men more than anyone else, y'all. Well, maybe not more than single mothers, perhaps, trying to raise young men. Ooh, Bell Hooks talks about it. Don't come after me. She's the one who said it. I don't
know. I guess they do police because they own. Okay, whatever. I mean, maybe that's true. I think that women police women more than men police women too. I don't know. Like some of the nastiest comments that women get are from other women. I'm just being real. I'm not saying that men don't contribute to these things. I'm just saying that is, you know, it's true. It is true. What the fuck will
For
my
us
shit work?
non-dudes to just sit and consider that a lot of it doesn't have anything to do with us, because depersonalizing it can also help. It's a symptom and it's a problem. Misogyny is a problem, yes. But what are we missing when we're just focusing on that one thing? What's the bigger picture here? And for me, when I especially think about the fact that Drake has chosen to make a career and found lots of success in a genre of music that has become very associated with misogyny, with misogynoir. Hello. And men measuring their dicks by how wealthy they are, how much they have, how beautiful their wives are or their girls are, how many girls want to be with them, how actually literally measuring their dicks, how big their dicks are.
Well, the thing is I have to measure my dick like that because there isn't a ruler big enough to help me measure mine. Unless I use the centimeter side.
It's a genre of music that's braggadocious. That's
braggadocious.
No one is better than me. Good luck. And the more you have, the more you are that one. For Drake, these women that he speaks about, that he talks about, that he brings up their trauma.
Some of those things I don't see as necessarily like a bad thing. I mean, it depends on how you do it. Like for a guy to be like, I have a really beautiful wife, it doesn't mean that he doesn't respect her. And like, obviously beauty is very subjective, but you know, maybe I'm just having a positive interpretation of that because, you know, I'm a man. But like for me, my wife, you know, I know my wife, blah, blah, blah. Stop making fun of me. My wife inspires me to provide. People always talk about how like men should be providing, but like we don't really talk about how women inspire, good women inspire to provide, you know? And, you know, that's where I come from with that. I'm just saying.
About for clout. It's not about
why am I stuck in this fucking dream state?
Don't. Because to Drake, it is about what can I do to be that in hip hop. How can I be more impressive to other men? Who do I know?
Well, I wonder, you know, I think we're thinking about this in like a weird way. I wonder how much of Drake is like tired of being like the silly Billy, you know, and now maybe he's just overcorrecting, and instead of just being a little less feminine or too feminine or however you want to present that, he's just going into the air of like, oh, well, I can make fun of women too, and just starting to dunk on girls, if that even is happening.
How many houses do I have that I don't live in? How many girls want to be with me, but I brush off because they're all groupies? That's why Serena's husband is a groupie. Like, you know, yeah, we dated, but he's married and settled down with her and has a child with her and they're in love. And I'm doing my thing. Like, he's a groupie. What? Oh my God. Oh, go hug a man. Go hug a man in your life.
It's a little gay, dude. Come on, bro.
They're not okay. When Drake was first coming out, he was that sensitive dude.
I will say though, hugs are very nice. I know that sounds so silly, dude, but hugs are pretty cool. Like a nice consensual hug is very balancing. I'm just saying, if you're a guy and you're like, no, I mean, listen, I grew up very, very incredibly touch-starved in general. I love my mother. My mother was a woman, was a man. My mother was a man. Let's be real. I love my mother because she's incredibly powerful and supportive, and I respect the hell out of her, and I would never change that how I grew up. But there was a lot of you know, I was hard to raise. My mom was out of the house a lot. She devoted every time that she could to me. But then, like, you know, there's some more things that, like, we didn't really hug. This is gonna sound wrong because my mother loves me to death. She showed me that in every facet of her life. But we never said I love you to each other. It sounds worse than it is. It's not because she doesn't love me, because I know she does. There's nobody would do anything for somebody like the way that my mother did unless they love somebody. But like it was one of those things like my mom was a man. Like that's not something we really talked about or expressed. She showed through her actions more. But like sometimes it's nice to be like, oh, I love you. And now we do that. My mom and I didn't kiss for like a long time. Like not like cringe, but like you know, like, oh hey man, you give like a little kiss. You know, we didn't do that for like a long time. So like now I make an active effort to be like, I love you, mom, and she's like, I love you too. And like I'll give her like a kiss or like on the cheek, hello, goodbye. We'll do like that face where it's like, you know what I mean? These things are pretty cool. Now, of course, I'm not gonna kiss my kid, but I'm gonna have a wife to do it for me. So these kids are fucking poopy.
That people didn't take seriously. It's not to say that his skills weren't taken seriously, because I do think that a lot of people did appreciate his skills, but he was still that Drake. And Pete has a really great video talking about Drake and chronicling his career and how he's just cheesy and is just chasing clout, which I think is true too, because we're in a Me Too backlash right now. So it's not surprising to me that Drake's like, oh, in 2016 it was nice for what? Now it's her loss. Drake, what exactly?
She has she has like a pretty fundamentally decent point there, where she's like, oh, now it's Me Too backlash. Kind of, a little bit. In general, society kind of ebbs and flows back and forth in different directions. You have your, when 2020, we were very progressive and everything was going on with like, BLM and everything like that. And then I think it got a little too progressive at a certain point. And then we kind of ricocheted backwards, and now people are a little bit we're in like our anti-wokeness movement, and everybody's fucking based as hell right now. That's just kind of the way things are. The things just kind of do that. That's just how society kind of operates back and forth. So
Exactly is she missing out on? I always talk about Terrence Reels. How can I get through to you when I talk about this? Because
my mom kissed me when I was like younger, just not when I be like, it's weird to communicate. All right, don't make fun of my mom. I'm gonna get mad. All right. I love my mommy. I'm a mama's boy. There's a reason for that. My mom, holy fuck me in the dog penis. Sorry. My mom was a very good mother. Don't make fun of my mother, okay? I get very sensitive about that.
he is a family psychologist, and he just drops gems. But something that I always quote from him is this one up, one down paradigm. And the way we socialize girls and boys growing up. The paradox for girls is that their ticket to connection is silence, over-accommodation, indirect expression. How can one maintain genuine relationships while not being genuine in them? The paradox for boys is that in order to be worthy of connection, they must prove themselves invulnerable, button-down warriors in the world's emotional marketplace.
I'd rather play
in
a
the
monk.
world of boys and men, you're either a winner or a loser. One up or one down. In control or controlled. Man enough or a girl. Where in this setup is the capacity to love? You know I'm about to talk about love. Let's get into it.
Relax.
The reason I love that quote so much and have used it in so many videos, that book for me is a thing that not only gave me more compassion for men, but also gave me more compassion for myself and understanding why I've had such a hard time relating to them. Not just romantically, but in general.
This guy looks cool.
It comes across in the lyrics that Drake does want to meet someone that he can be with and settle down with, perhaps. I don't know him. I'm not saying he does, but it's coming across that way. You be rapping about love a lot. Maybe you want to be.
He probably does. Listen, I'm just going to say, like, fundamentally speaking, I think one of the most difficult things in the entire world is to find love when you found everything else. If you're somebody who has good money and you have everything that you could like pretty much want, it becomes very difficult to find love because it becomes very difficult to bond through. It becomes very difficult to struggle with somebody and build with somebody in a way that like creates a long-lasting union, if that makes sense. Like one of the things that my wife is irreplaceable because of the fact that we went through a period of time together that was very, very, very incredibly difficult, and I can never relive that experience with anybody else. I guess unless I really hit rock bottom again and became like a fucking crack addict. And so, how is Drake gonna find somebody now? You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Damn, we did +3 upgrade. Cool.
Love. But I think the thing we have to understand is that love and domination, power, control, whatever synonym you want to put in there, that a lot of these dudes like to operate from first, they're incompatible and they will never go together. They just won't. If you are trying to have a loving relationship with somebody, trying to be in control, on top of, above, dominant, you're not. I recorded this video.
I think you could still find somebody that's fine with that dynamic for sure. There's nothing wrong with that dynamic as long as you're not fucking manosphering it and saying everybody should be part of that dynamic.
Before the events of this past week. So in catching myself, because I think the constructive feedback that I got was it doesn't feel like women ever listen to men.
Oh, well, I think she's talking about the feedback from like the Aberrant Preach thing.
Or doesn't feel like anyone ever listens to men. So I want to say and add to this that
Is that what she got out of the feedback? Okay, interesting.
You do not have to just be a guy to lead with control. I've tried to control many relationships and lead with that because I was freaked out. This is why I talk about feelings so much. And I don't think they're the answer to everything, but I do think they're an important part of the puzzle that we're not always including because any of us are susceptible to being controlling. That's also why I've been trying to say dominant a little less and just say control, because dominant makes it sound way more like it's an action, and it is, but control can also be a lot more quiet. It can be in silent treatments.
It can be in different types of manipulation. How can you love someone? I'm editing and Tiny is stepping on stuff. It can be, it can, Tiny. It can come up in a lot of ways. So I want to be very intentional with saying that this video is not about the ways that women are controlling in relationships and stuff like that. We can talk about that another day. I'm bringing it up as a quick note. This video, though, is focused on Drake.
Often get a bit sad when I think about the men in my life, in my family. This is not a surprise. Well, it might be to y'all, but it's not a secret. My brother's been married 8 times, and he's not even 40 yet, where he's gonna.
Wow. You fucking. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not trying to be that guy, but goddamn, what the fuck what's up with your brother? What is he doing with him? You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Am I right? I mean, how the fuck is he married 8 times? Wait, I didn't think this could fly, and I almost jumped off and died. Anyway, 8 times. Damn, girl. Fuck.
I turn 40 next year after, but yeah. When I think about the men in my life and what they maybe had to
I'm just going to be real with you. I'm going to be real with you. You know, and I understand that there are general issues of men and women, this, that, and the other thing. But I'm feeling like if you, listen, no disrespect, but if you, one of the closest men in your life to you is a man that's been married 8 times, I'm feeling like maybe you've been associating with some extra men. Very that is not normal. That's not normal. That's not, I would say that's not the generally a good representation of men. Yeah, homeboy's fucking speedrunning marriage. That guy's just re-rolling in World of Warcraft. Looks like my fucking title screen, all the characters I have. I mean, holy shit. I feel like maybe you have some different issues that maybe not all women can identify with, at least to the same degree. But maybe I'm just wrong.
Up and shove down and push away.
Maybe I'm just wrong.
In order to be seen as a viable partner for a woman.
Your grandma was proud she was divorced 6 times? What the fuck? Holy shit. That's crazy.
But not realizing that all the stuff that they were doing made them someone incompatible, someone that someone would say would be with and be like, men are trash. The bar is in hell.
And the ways they've maybe felt disposable if they can't provide these things or have this bravado because of the world around us, because of the way we as a society treat them, and because of the way men treat each other. That was a thought that one of my friends, I'm just asking men what manhood means to them, and I'm learning some things.
Penis. When somebody says the word manhood, I always think of the word penis. Manhood, it's another word for that. You know what I'm saying?
On the other side of that, I think about the ways that I was socialized as a young girl. It's a different cultural context. So I also was socialized with that suck it up, buttercup, feelings. What are you doing over here? You don't have time for feelings. Get to work. Resilience, do your thing, pray.
Well, yeah, I could see why you don't need no man if some of the men in your life were less than stellar. You know, I could feel that. You know, I'm not trying to be insulting. I just that's a lot. I could see why you'd have to develop that cope. You know, it only takes a couple of bad experiences for people to start disliking each other. You know, 2 bad experiences with men, you hate men. 2 bad experiences with women, you hate women. You know, 2 bad experiences with cats, you kill cats. You know what I mean? It's like it is what it is.
Hey, you're fine. So we're not gonna act like men were the only ones who were told they can't have feelings, okay? Because that's why a lot of girls are upset, y'all. Because men also were told, like, we were also told we can't have feelings, but we also had to then take care of y'all too. It's weird.
Yeah, I had that same problem. I was told I'm not allowed to have feeling in my toes because I have diabetes. You know, if the doctor didn't tell me that, I think I would actually be able to feel my pinky toe. But hey, I'm just kidding. I didn't lose that much feeling. But you know, the funny memes.
The reason I love the Terrence Real quote is because it's a paradox. Where in this setup is the capacity for love and connection? And it's not just romantic love and connection. I'm just talking about connecting to the people that are even closest to you. Wanting to love and be loved.
I'm all out of love.
In my definition, as I always say it,
I'm
it's
so
a space
lost
that you create
without you.
In that space,
blah, blah, blah.
There isn't room for you to come here with your facade and your hardness and your this is how it is, I'm just a tough guy, whatever. Because you can be a tough person. No one said you can't be a tough person. But you are lying if you say you don't have feelings. Indifference is a feeling. Human beings have feelings. And we have to analyze them and understand them. And as Dr. Mark Brackett says, become emotion scientists.
Well, maybe I'm not a human being. Maybe I'm a human potato. You didn't think about that? Huh? Khadijah? I think that, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it right. I hope I am because I don't want to be disrespectful. Huh? You ever think about that?
Emotion judges. And I'm saying this as someone who has been an emotion judge my whole life.
Wait, what is this?
When I bring up stuff about feelings, men oftentimes
health.
will talk and automatically go, oh, well, y'all just don't want men to be men. You want men to be soft and cry and blah, 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 blah. Who said that? That's what you associate with feelings and femininity. You associate feelings with things that only women have. We associate anything having to do with.
She's kind of based right here. This is true. Like, there's a lot of people that like the women will be like, "Hey, I just want a man that's a little bit more in tune with his emotions." Like, "Oh, so you want him to cry and fucking shit and piss himself? You want him to wear a fucking diaper? You want him to start stabbing a hole in the tip of his cock so he bleeds like a fucking woman? That's what you say when you say a man should be more sensitive, huh? You think that he should get bottom surgery and have his penis turned into a vagina? Oh, that's what you want? Oh, modern women are destroying fucking men." That's usually the response to what she's saying. Whereas I think that there's a lot of things that are hurting people in Western culture, at least. One of which, bad fathers. Okay, very adamant about that. Right? There's a lot of other issues too. I'm not saying women are perfect, but I'm saying I'm a man, and I'm seeing a lot of bad fathers that don't want to be there for their fucking kids, and we should talk about that a little bit more. You know what I mean? We don't have men are being so weak lately. If you feel that way, you think that maybe it's because their men are lacking a positive male role model in their life that shows them how to be strong. Nah, couldn't be it. All right. All right. We all saw Everybody Hates Chris. That was awesome. Oh, if you didn't have that dad, you think you'd grow up the same way? Just saying, bro. It's some real shit, bro.
Emotional intelligence, connection, all of that, as soft, fruity, only one half of the population needs to worry about that stuff. When the only way this is going to work is if we're all worried about that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we only focus on feelings and emotions. If you've been here for even 15 minutes, you know that I don't think one thing is an answer. From my perspective and my biases,
what the fuck's happening?
The journey I have been on, not only to understand my feelings and emotions and not just understand and articulate them, but regulate them, because that's also a part of emotional intelligence, that a lot of men will say women are very emotional, but they don't regulate their emotions either.
And super chatted $10. Hey Papa, love the streams. Could you react to a video called The Part of History You've Always Skipped? Near slavery. It's the most informative video about slavery I've ever watched.
Oh shit. Yeah, do me a favor. Can you? I'll try to remember, but if you want, maybe DM me on Instagram so I can remember, because I'm in the middle of the game. I can't really look it up right now. And the video reaction.
Will lash out in anger or indifference. Again, indifference is still an emotion. Will lash out in either direction, and everyone else is just left out in the cold trying to figure out what's going on. So not only are they not regulating their emotions, they're also not talking about them, and they can't, because we don't set people up in general to know how to talk about their feelings. I know that feelings aren't the whole answer, but for me, like I said, as I've been learning about that and how to regulate my feelings and articulate them and know what I want and need, it's allowed me the room to give that to other people. And for me, the simplest way I can define it is giving people a space to have their feelings, to validate their feelings, because your feelings aren't wrong. They just appear and are trying to give you information, but still allow them to be accountable to make sure they're not acting wild and shit. I say all of that to say, if I'm with a man, with a menses, and we're going to create a space together, and we're supposed to come together in love, there's no room for either one of us to try to be in control, on top, the dominator, unless you know. But I mean on a spiritual level. We don't have room for that, because that always means that one person is vulnerable and open and the other isn't, or we both just aren't. And how can one maintain genuine relationships without being genuine in them? Like Terrence said, come on, y'all. This isn't some frou-frou stuff. He's a psychologist. Well, maybe somebody thinks it's frou-frou. Anyway.
I'm not gonna. No, what happened is some other dumb fuck decided to pull that boss before we were ready, so I had to engage. Like, for some reason, people were deciding to pull the boss for no reason. I don't really understand it. We didn't even finish the trash. The healer did almost no healing on that last pull. Somebody had died. We were all really low, and some asshole, I don't even know who it was, decided to pull the fucking boss, even though not everybody's here. Where's the tank? I mean, not the tank. Where's the fucking warrior?
I don't want to discount the role that fear has to play in a lot of this, because it is very scary to not only share your feelings, but to even care about somebody. It's scary when you've been taught to be a certain way your whole life and been told that that is how you're going to, quote unquote, get ladies, or that is how you be that man. That is how a man is supposed to be. Be ladylike. This is what you're supposed to be. This is how ladies act.
I don't think that that's necessarily the worst thing in the world. Some of the standards aren't, dude, how are people, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Sorry. It's not necessarily. I mean, okay, it can get bad, but I don't think that some of the bad stuff is that bad. You know what I mean? Being ladylike, being men, like, I don't know, some of the shit's not that big of a deal. I don't think that all of it's toxic. I just think that some of it is.
Depending on cultural context, of course, everywhere's different. I honestly really do think that the only way for a lot of us to find the connections, again, not just romantic, in this context, it could be because we're talking about Drake and Hinton, but in general, to find the connections that allow us to show up as ourselves or as we are figuring ourselves out and really be not only like held in that space, but like really like embraced and appreciated and allowed and still held accountable. I think we all deserve that. I think that's a community. I think we all deserve that. And I think a lot of folks are chasing things that they think are going to make them happy, or maybe it seems like it's making them happy, but it's a fleeting feeling, because what is happiness? You know, as that's opposed to, it's going to sound cheesy, but doing whatever their personal work looks like to unpack and understand who they actually are outside of all of these systems and frameworks that tell us you're this is your identity, therefore you have to act this way, therefore you have to be this way. Like,
yeah, sure that the have to's that's probably the biggest issue, when somebody's like, you have to do this, you have to do that, rather than saying, like, you know what I mean, once you shame people for not being like, oh, it's like, I don't think it's bad for men to be very like strong masculine figures, but I would never shame another man for not being that, you know what I mean? Okay.
Dude friends, how many of you have actually really sat down and asked yourselves, what is a man to me? What kind of man am I? What kind of man do I want to be? Do I even believe in the idea that?
I think about that all the time. That's like my moral philosophy. I always talk about how, like, what it means to be a man to me is probably what it means to just be a good person to other people. It's a moral philosophy. It's like what I like to live by, you know, and a lot of it has to do with like, honestly, like, you know, like a lot of the different tenets of like being an Eagle Scout, like trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent, all those things. But yeah, I think a man should be strong, should be there for his family, should, you know, try to be the first one on the front lines to provide, right? Show equal respect and respect others. You know, I think that, you know, part of what it means to be a man is to realize that as a man, you may have particular roles, but you shouldn't look down on the roles that other people perform just because they're not male roles. You know, we talk about like, oh, men provide, men do this, men do that. You know, women provide in different ways as well. It always strikes me as incredibly bizarre when men will be like, oh, you know, women are inferior, women are less than, or women are this and that. And these are the people that are going to be raising your children, that are going to be carrying your children, and you think that they're somehow less than. It just doesn't add up to me. I don't understand that. It just seems bizarre, because that's a profoundly impactful role that I would consider like equal to. It's just different. And I know a lot of people go to race. I always have to qualify. Like, well, what is separate but equal? Black and white. Being black and being white, race is nothing. It's just a skin color. Men and women are very, like, they're different. They perform different roles. They're generally better at different things. That doesn't mean that there aren't women who are good at things that men do and vice versa. But, you know, it just seems bizarre to me to shame women so much for like, you know, that's the person that's going to be raising your kid. Oh my God, raising your kid, you know?
I am quote unquote man. I'm not talking about having a penis. I'm just saying like manhood. How could I describe that it doesn't denote it to just a stereotype or something that's
the stereotype isn't inherently bad. It's when it becomes like abusive in some capacity, where it gets like bad, where like, you have to be like this. You know what I mean? Because then, like, let's say you have like a guy who's feminine. You know, he likes wearing makeup and shit. Maybe he likes pee-pee or something. You're not going to invalidate their manliness or them being a man. They're just different. That's what it's about. And so respecting other people, you know, not taking advantage of people that you perceive as weak is a really big part of being a man to me as well.
Cultural, not actually like wired. And if I do believe that men are supposed to be a certain way, why am I so tied to that idea? Is it impossible for me to
part of it's probably like biology. Probably comes from like just like the fundamental, like foundational, like where we get some of these stereotypes are probably from biology. And then, like, you know, we create social constructs based off of that once we start to think a little bit more about it, you know.
Humor, a different one. To explore that, to just mull over that and think about that. Why is the thought of mulling over the idea?
But what would you say in my case? Most of my life, anytime I think you had emotion was shown, I was shoved into it is what it is mentality, and every time I've expressed myself, it's been berated. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, brother. That's just brutal, man. You know, I have a very is what it is mentality as well. It's just like but usually it's like a positive cope for me. Like when I use hey, it is what it is, and I try not to get stressed or angry about a particular thing because I just can't control it, you know. But I've also never really had somebody diminish my emotions. There's been times where I wouldn't express them, but like my mother's never shot down my emotions, you know. She's just didn't display hers, so I learned that and didn't display mine, you know.
That manhood might look different and be different. It could be a little bit more tender. Maybe. I'm not saying that that's the only way, but I'm just saying
could add elements of that quote unquote femininity. Why is that idea so scary to me? What am I really so scared of?
This fucking shit healer.
These are questions you have to ask yourself. It's hard. Oh my God, it's ashy as hell. Are you kidding me? Oh, I hate this. And I'm in the middle of doing workbooks and stuff. I'm someone who's deeply committed to and wants to find connection with people and believe that it's possible because I have some really great friends and we have really deep, intimate connections. Cool, and I want that for more people, especially men, because y'all need it. Drake. After all this, we're still talking about Drake. Woo, okay. I was going to do this whole...
You know what's weird, though? And maybe I'm just, like, off the mark on this one, but I feel like the men that are, like, the least emotionally available have the weirdest fucking relationships with their moms. Like, they're like, they don't show their own son love, but they're like, Mommy, what do you need, Mommy? You know what I mean? They're just all up in their shit. Like, weirdly, borderline emotionally incestuous relationships with their mothers. I'm just saying, bro. I feel like it's kind of true.
Thing about derivatization, how Drake has this idea of somebody that he wants based on prior information, but he's not really, I don't know. But then I was like, this feels a little too psychoanalyzey, and I'm not here for that. I don't have a degree in that. I barely have a sociology degree. You know what I'm saying? So, true. But I have been really on my gender and relationship sexologist kick. I don't know what's going on. At the end of the day, none of this stuff is really ever about the celebrity I'm talking about. Clearly, it's never really about them. Yes, Drake irritated the shit out of me with that song, and I was fucking whatever. But y'all know that I operate from a...
Yeah, I guess, I mean, this video has been interesting. But yeah, I guess we didn't get like a whole ton of examples about Drake, about like how he engages in this behavior. We just kind of assume that he does in this video, and we kind of operate moving forward. Why are we missing a whole DPS? This is a fucking timed Mythic Plus, and this kid is just like AFK scratching his balls or something. Why, like, dude, why are you here? You know what I mean? Like, what are we all doing here? What are we doing at this function? What are we doing at this event? You know? Holy fuck. I'm fucking goblin mode with these Mythic Pluses, dude.
Love ethic, and my annoying, cheesy, vulnerable ass is gonna love you, god damn it! I'm gonna love you. So you know what, Drizzy Drake OVO? I really do hope that you find somebody for you that you actually love and care about and can let that facade down with so that you stop pretending for the rest of us. That was low-key a drag, but I didn't mean it to be because I really do mean that shit. Bro. I hope you find what you're looking for. Is that masculine enough for y'all?
Not her, sorry.
I really just want that for everybody. It doesn't have to be romantic. I just hope you find what you're looking for. Like the Everything Everywhere All at Once soundtrack that I've listened to the entire year.
True.
The empathy song, Come Recover. I hope y'all find a place where you can recover. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we're all just groupie goopers. I'm a groupie grouper, yeah.
I'm wearing the SpongeBob hat.
Grouper, yeah. We're all groupie groupers. Oh, God. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching if you made it to the end. Ooh, let's do this again because I haven't done this in a long time. Okay, in the comments below, if you watched all the way to the end, say something nice to the menses.
Bro, so say something nice to me right now because I'm fucking tilted out of my marbles. Like every other pull, there's somebody missing. Like the healer was gone this time. This guy's gone. This guy's gone. Like, what's happening here? Why are we playing this dungeon? It's like we're playing it like a fucking normal.
Yeah, if you don't want to say anything, you don't have to. You don't got to be rude, too. Okay? Just say something nice. Say something nice to the menses. Let them know we are on your side. If you are better, you can be better for other people. Come on. Come on. Say something nice and put the two hearts that I always use, the small heart and the big heart.
Oh.
That way I know you watch to the end. Because I know most of y'all don't. It's okay. Like, as always, be sure to feed your plets. What are your plets? And remember that you can always change your mind because you can. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Dude, this is insane right now.
He's just saying
so
like, it's a weird damned if you do, damned if you don't for boys. Because in order to be worthy of like relationships, in order for you to be worthy as a man who deserves a woman, let's say, you have
credits an interview with my brother. Okay.
Have to prove that you are emotionally invulnerable, that you're strong, that you can handle shit, that you don't have feelings. Does that ring true to you, or does that ring like that's a bit much?
I don't think that really rings true to me personally, or even people like my age, really. I don't really think it's like that in like how it used to be. Because like you see more people, like more guys I know now express more of their feminine side than they would like people who grew up like Muhammad's age.
But like, how do you mean their feminine side?
Like feminine side, quote unquote, like starting like painting their nails, stuff. That's what people see as feminine.
But I mean, I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about emotionally. Like, do you know guys that talk about their feelings, talk to each other about their feelings?
The only one person I know like that. That's he's very emotional.
You see?
I mean, like, it might not. I don't know if it's necessarily talking about your feelings. It might just be the way that you talk about your feelings too. Like, you know, I think that's something that Adam and Preach were trying to talk about. Was that like, oh, I'll try to talk about my feelings, and then like I'll be told that that's not the correct way. Basically, that's how I interpreted it. So part of it could be that men aren't necessarily suppressing their feelings; they're just not releasing it in the way that women want them to sometimes, and then women perceive that as like a toxic trait. It can definitely be like there are men and people like that are not to express anything. But like sometimes I express my emotions in a way, and my wife's like, you know, my wife, and we were learning each other, so it's getting better, but. Where like maybe the way I express my emotion is I'm just angry right now, and I just want to be alone, you know, because that's my coping mechanism. And when you get kind of berated for that, and my wife does, like we've set this boundary very well. Like we learn each other. Like we're very, you know, it's excellent. When you but when you get berated for that, and it's like, well, why? Well, this is how I express my emotions. I'm angry right now. I'm expressing. That's anger is my emotional expression. It's okay to be angry. It's not okay to be disproportionately angry or break things, but it's okay to be angry. And it's like, yeah, I'm angry right now. Well, I don't think you should be, because maybe, you know, my wife might have a difference in the way that she expresses her frustrations. Like instead of getting angry, she might get like sad, where I'll get angry. It's like, okay, but let me be angry. I'm expressing my frustrations to you. So why is it a problem? You know, I don't need to cry or I don't need to get sad. I can sometimes just be angry about something, and that makes me happy. I don't like. I'm not trying to be rude. It doesn't. You know, it's not. Oh, it's not optimal. A lot of things aren't optimal. We're not talking about optimalness. We're talking about what makes me able to get through stuff. And sometimes I just want to be angry. Sometimes you want to be angry. Sometimes you want to be sad. As long as you're not hurting anybody or destroying anything, it's not a bad thing. You know. Absorbs a bunch of healing. Okay. Cool.
Oh, Terrence was right. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's not talking physically, because, like, yeah, your generation, even dudes that are my age, they're like 30 or like, or like bisexual and paint their nails. Like everyone's queer, everyone's having a good time. Yeah. But this is more about like being able to actually talk about your emotions. Yeah, and feelings.
Yeah, when only one person like that, definitely
You're so rude.
Yeah, he will always tell you how he's feeling.
Aww.
Well, anger though.
Because Bell Hook said it. Okay, do you think this sentence rings true? That for a lot of boys, the emotions that we are allowed to get, that we let you express, are anger or indifference.
It's not even about let you. Like that's one of the things. And like, yeah, for sure, maybe. But sometimes it's just what I want to express. Like, have you ever considered that? We only let you express anger. What's wrong with anger? Like, truly speaking, explain to me what is wrong with being angry. And you'll be like, well, you can come up with 100 different things. And I'll be like, what's wrong with being sad? The same things, basically, right? Like it means that like you're not in your normal state, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong to be that thing. It's okay. Like that's how I process my emotions. Like, what's the problem with it? This dungeon is full of fucking idiots. Dude, I'm at my brink. I'm at my fucking brink right now. I'm at my fucking brink. These people suck. Holy fuck, bro. I'm angry. This is okay. I need to be angry right now. I need to be fucking angry. That's what I'm talking about. This is real. I'm about to leave. I swear to God. I swear on my mom. I swear on my mommy's life. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that is true.
Damn. Abdu's 21, by the way. He was born in 2001. What would you say you fall into?
He's 21. He's married 8 times. What the fuck? How? Dude. Holy fuck.
For me, the thing, you see by most of my reaction, I'm always very indifferent most of the time. I'm just like, whatever.
But are you really indifferent?
The thing is, with me, I do feel my emotions hard, but I also forget just, like, this thing is someone could be mean to me, and I'll feel it hard, but then next moment you say something nice, and I'll be like, oh, okay, what's up?
In the world of boys and men, you're either a winner or a loser. One up or one down. In control or controlled. Man enough.
What? How did this even get pulled? Oh my God.
I'll say I ring true with sports. You don't win the championship, you're a loser.
Okay, I'm doing
Yeah, I would say I like the Olympics and stuff like that.
No, I mean like with your friend, with other dudes. Do you find that there is
this sense of competition with dudes.
Hell yeah, fucking pants are so annoying.
Of course, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing just because there's like a sense of competition with people. It depends on how that manifests. Like if you have this mentality, like, you know, the Ricky Bobby first or last mentality isn't necessarily a bad thing, unless you like beat yourself up over not getting first. Sometimes it's just like a motivating tool that you use, and you know. Bro, I don't even know how that other thing got pulled. This fucking group sucks so much dick. I'm actually fucking I'm going fucking ballistic right now with how bad these kids are. Like some fucking idiot pulled that other thing. Oh my god. Some fucking idiot pulled that other fucking thing. The Hunter, I'm pretty sure. And it's just like a wipe fest. We have 25 fucking deaths and I'm like one of them. This is fucking insane. I'm actually going to shit myself. Okay.
Abdu has a friend whose nickname is.
You gotta get married every like 6 months.
He is so annoying.
Okay.
But he's the only one in our group that's really like that. We always like.
Yeah, because there's a spectrum. Yeah. Again, not all men. Here I go. Ladies, don't leave. Okay. How would you say you're feeling right now, Abdul?
Right now, hungry. I was heating up some food.
Abdu.
You're gonna heal everybody to full.
Abdu.
I don't care.
I was hungry.
How you feeling besides hungry?
Like I'm just like chilling, man. Like
okay.
I feel nothing crazy right now.
That's cool. You can also. That's the thing. Yeah. Feelings can also just be up chilling.
Yeah, I'm not feeling nothing too crazy right now.
Nothing too crazy right now.
I'm feeling like a goblin mode right now.
Maybe.
Damn.
I'm feeling in my goblin.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You got to earn that from people too. All right. Well, I won't keep you from your food any longer.
Fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, it's fine.
Maybe this is in the bloopers. The message is misogyny. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Wow. Great video. For sure. For sure.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.